Welcome back, Pine Lake. I hope you all had an enjoyable spring break. It was nice to relax and read in my hammock and soak up the sunshine for a few days. We are back to our candy experiments today, and we will be working with gummy worms. We will be focusing on 2 experiments today. First, we will learn how to dye gummy worms, and then we will focus on an experiment called saltwater gummy soak. To dye gummy worms, we will need the following materials: gummy worms or other gummy candy, food coloring, which we've got right here, and a bowl of water. So the first thing we will do is add a few drops of food coloring to the bowl of water. One, two, three. Perfect. I'm gonna do this red and yellow gummy worm. So I'll stir it up a little bit with the gummy worm, and then I'm just gonna drop it in there. Did the gummy candy change colors? Take a look at this photo right here. I did this experiment a few days ago with these gummy worms. Now my gummy worm has turned blue and has expanded. But why? Because the protein molecules in gelatin entangle water, gummy candy absorbs water and expands. If there's dye in the water, it gets absorbed too, dyeing your gummy worm different colors. I do not recommend eating your dyed gummy worm after you perform this experiment. Next up is the saltwater gummy soak. For this activity, we will need 4 gummy worms, 3 small bowls of 1 cup of water in each, sugar, and salt. Now, we're going to put 1 cup of water in each bowl first. Now we're going to add a spoonful of sugar to 1 bowl of water and a spoonful of salt to another bowl of water. And we're going to leave the first bowl all alone, just water by itself. Here's my salt. And then my sugar. Great. Next, we're going to put a gummy candy in each bowl and set the extra gummy worm aside for comparison. We've got 1 ball by itself. We're going to put 1 in just the bowl of water by itself. Then the bowl of water with sugar. And finally, the bowl of water with salt. After several hours, we're going to check on it to see what size they are. Which ones have changed the most? I did this experiment on Sunday, so let's take a look at what happened in these photos. Here is my saltwater bowl with my gummy worm. What do you notice? Did my gummy change in size? What about my sugar bowl? A cup of fresh water is a dilute solution. When you put salt in water, you make a concentrated solution. The more salt, the more concentrated the solution is. If water can pass through a dilute solution into a concentrated one, it will. Nature is trying to make the 2 solutions equally concentrated. This process is called osmosis. You can see osmosis in action when you put a gummy worm in fresh water. Water flows into the gummy worm, diluting the sugary gelatin mix, which is a concentrated solution. Therefore, the gummy worm expands or gets bigger. But if you put a gummy worm in salt water, the salt water is already concentrated. Not as much water is needed to dilute the gummy worm, so the gummy worm will expand less. In fact, depending on how concentrated your solution is, it might not expand at all. Osmosis is also the process that draws water into plant roots and up where it needs to be. If you watered plants with salt water, the plant cells wouldn't be able to absorb any water, just like the gummy worms. Now it's your turn. Mix up different solutions with different substances and put a gummy in each. Predict which gummy will expand the most and which will expand the least. Send me a message with your photo or video attached. I would love to see what you come up with. But for now, I hope you are doing well and getting back into the groove of e-learning. I miss you. Keep experimenting.